Welcome, Kradoc
Volume
and
tips.
Traden. So now we need to actually talk about the news we're going to be talking about today. I have to warn you ahead of time, I'm not expecting anything at Microsoft. Like, I've been paying so much attention to Bethesda and to, what did we watch yesterday?
EA.
EA.
Say E3.
Yeah, that's the mistake I've been making all weekend. I paid all this attention to EA and to Bethesda, and I've totally overlooked Microsoft. I have no idea what they're going to announce or what they're doing this year or if they have plans. No expectations. So this is going to be a complete surprise to me.
Yeah, same. EA was like, what are they going to do with loot boxes? You know, and
Right.
Battlefield stuff on the side, like the whole thing. And Bethesda is like, are they going to do, obviously Fallout is the big thing. And I'm curious, like, are they going to mention anything about the Elder Scroll?
Yeah, we're
It's been a while since the Skyrim.
We are due, and everybody's kind of sore about still not having Elder Scrolls. And, you know, I think the consensus is they're probably not going to do anything with Elder Scrolls while Elder Scrolls Online is still doing well. Which is really frustrating for those of us who want a proper single-player game. And not, like...
Yeah, Elder Scrolls Online doesn't feel like an actual successor to the Elder Scrolls Legacy. It really is just like an MMO with Elder Scrolls theming.
Right, and I don't think one of those games compete... I don't think they really compete with each other. People aren't going to log out of Elder Scrolls Online.
They really don't.
Yeah, because they make another Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah, like, you're not going to steal playership from people playing your MMO game that's free-to-play. Is it free-to-play? It's probably not, isn't it?
No, it's not free to play. Although
yeah.
it was, I forget how it works at launch. It was like your typical buy the game for $60 and then $10 a month or something like that.
Pay subscription.
Yeah,
Oh.
like it's 2004 or something. But I think they backed off from that. But it's not free to play.
Yeah, I really don't think you take much playership away from that. And if you did, it would just be to like build the super hype bomb that is, the next Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah. According to Ironcast Knight, it's pay to enter. So you pay for the game, but then you don't need a subscription.
Right. So it's the Guild Wars model.
Yeah, which that makes more sense in today's world.
That makes more sense than Destiny 2's model. Jeez.
What is Destiny 2's model? I mean, I'm playing Destiny 2 and I
to,
don't know
like,
what it is.
They really wanted to do like a games as a service thing. Like it's so clear. Like they have this shop. They have all these cosmetics they release, and they're like, oh, we're going to support it after launch. And yet they've planned a Destiny 3, and it's obvious they're working on a Destiny 3 and not 2. Oh, aside from the expansions that occasionally come out, they've teamed for that. But it can't be games as a service if your service is being supplanted by another service that you've planned for years.
Right.
Like the whole point would be to not make a Destiny 3 and just make more 2.
Yeah, Jeeves makes a point that if the big Fallout game is multiplayer, like most people are expecting, everybody's expecting this new Fallout's gonna, or the new Fallout's gonna be, either a Battlegrounds clone or a Rust clone, which is 3 years late to catch in on those trends. But that means they will have migrated their two major single-player franchises into online games, and we'll have ESO and Fallout 76, and that's weird.
Yeah.
This was like the last bastion of like dedicated single-player games. Amstrad, the mod pack I used for this video is Direwolf 20, which you get through the Feed the Beast launcher. And then on top of that, I added a couple of mods for these shader packs that, do really cool lighting or bend the world LSD style. But it's mostly, for the game, in gameplay terms, it's Direwolf 20. Oh, here we go.
I will say at least Destiny 2 looks... Oh. Yes, it is E3.
Oh, I might be a little quiet now. Alright. Let me know how the volume levels are, chat. You should be able to hear what they're saying, but they should be quieter than Ross and I, so that we can shout them down.
This is the Xbox E3 2018 briefing.
I like how their stage looks like an office. It's so fitting for Microsoft. This is this cubicle farm. Game engine. You guys are still going to claim that. Everybody claims that. This is in engine, and then it never really is. It never looks like this.
This is an engine specifically designed to render this one cutscene.
Right.
I'm gonna say Halo.
Well, Ross called it.
I was like nature plus Marines.
Yeah. Hello, Halo. Oh, that makes me nervous. Halo Infinite probably just means online.
It probably does.
I've never heard of this engine. Huh. Oh, that's what the stuff on the stage is. That's the server farm they were using to render that.
Oh yeah.
As long as
neon lights.
Yeah, that's as long as you've got that set up at home, it'll look like that. Wow. This is I've never seen anybody this excited for Microsoft.
Master Chief on his greatest adventure yet to save humanity.
I've never seen a massive adventure to save humanity before.
Now at a moment of exceptional creativity in gaming. We can't wait.
You cannot say that about a game about Space Marines. Exceptional creativity in gaming.
So to all the gamers around the world,
cover-based Space Marines. You can't claim that.
To every single person watching us on TV and on Mixer, and to our largest ever live audience, the thousands of you with us right here in the Microsoft Theater, welcome to E3 2018. And what unifies us is our shared love of this art form. Legendary characters who captivate us, not just for 10 hours, but for 10, 20, 30 years. Bold stories that inspire the hero within us.
Bold stories? Come on, you're
Iconic
killing me
worlds
here.
That are so richly imagined, we feel excitement in the air and danger on the seas. As gamers, we are at a momentous time where creative vision and cutting-edge technology together are delivering the art form we love. So, for months, our teams and I have traveled
the world. Just imagine like a pilgrimage.
From Japan to Poland, from the UK to the Ukraine, from big studios to single developers, creators who seize the
They go around the world, and then they're like, "Oh wait, we're from Seattle. Most of the video games come from where we were. We should go back home."
Today, we've
why aren't there any game developers out here?
Of their best work.
They're in Dubai going, "So where are your game developers?"
18 titles with exclusivity. And
Why are you
15
cheering
world
for
premieres.
exclusives, you sheep?
Some will be first-timers on this stage, and others will be first-timers on any stage. All are imagined
There's like
by
very
the
little that I
industry's
really get
greatest
up in arms
talent.
about in gaming, but
All
exclusives are one of those
demonstrate
things.
what true
I
artists
mean, I
can
understand why
create.
they exist in a
Mind-blowing
business sense,
art,
but I just don't
immersive
understand
sound
people
effects,
getting glad about them.
breathtaking worlds.
Yay! I didn't
Exactly,
want to
like,
have
oh,
any choice
only
of
we
where
get
I
to play
played this.
these.
Right?
Yeah, other people can't enjoy what I enjoy. It's great!
Is this Ori and the Blind Forest?
Yeah, 2?
I'm not into 2D platformers at all, which is a shame because I just love their aesthetics. This is just, I just get so excited when I see stuff like this. I'm like, oh, I want to play this, and then I realize, oh wait, I actually hate 2D platforming. It makes me want to play. I bought.
You'll be falling into holes constantly.
Right, I mean, I bought so many games just because I loved how they looked, and then I realized, no, this isn't the
They're actually
gameplay.
2D platformers.
Well, no, I knew it. I just couldn't help myself. I just loved the art so much. I kept hoping I'd be able to love the game. Like, look at this. It is magnificent. This is masterwork.
I think this tops Sea of Solitude in terms of just like...
Yeah. Like, look at that big tree. That's got to be hand drawn.
I think it's all hand drawn, and then just like it's got neural maps on it. It's what they did with Dead Cells.
I mean, that's just incredible. You just don't see stuff like that. I'd love to see this style in a 3D game. What would that look like for a first-person or third-person game? How would that work?
That'd be really cool.
It's still really pretty.
World premiere.
Nioh 2?
So you're awake.
Oh.
Looks like death is not your fate. Just yet.
Oh my.
Some time has passed since I found you. Your master still lives. They'll soon make use of his bloodline. The limb you have lost will give way to something more useful. You'll learn to appreciate its worth.
The Vomit Blade.
I am really gonna enjoy watching other people play this. I would get too frustrated and angry, and I wouldn't have a good time. But this looks magnificent too.
Your death won't come.
Oh, I'm very on board for
easily.
this. And it's Microsoft, which means it'll probably be on PC. I like that new mechanic too. It's a pretty sedate crowd for having just watched that.
I know, you guys clapped your asses off for Master Chief. And that's,
Yeah.
you can't
Bethesda
even,
Game
like,
Studios.
grunt for that
Todd
game.
Howard. Exclusive.
Commander Jax on deck. Welcome to Crackdown 3, the only game built like me. Big, beautiful, like a skyscraper, falling at your face. If you want to play on my level, follow my lead. Somebody give me my jam. Chop, chop, chop. It's all about getting the jump on the enemy. No building is too high. 60 stories up, incoming! You gotta build up that raw power. Grab more, grow more, nama, nama, nama. Big, bigger, Jackson! Then you need that firepower.
Is Crackdown made with the same people as Saints Row?
It feels like it, doesn't it? But I don't think it is.
Graviton tether.
Saints Row
I'm getting
people
that
just,
sense, especially.
yeah, just came out with a game recently. It was terrible.
And then I roll out. Like
Agents
a
of Mayhem?
boss. I can push
Yeah.
off fools, pull up the side of a building, or even bust out my very own tank. Oh yeah. Boom shakalaka! Man, these bad guys just won't quit. They got mad scientists, and mad a master plan. Here we go! The hits just keep on coming. Boom! Whack, whack, mother! Crackdown 3!
It's more near. Well, it's just near.
And the skies
No.
rained missiles, and the
This
ground
looks like
burned
Metro.
to ash, and the seas boiled, and people turned into shadows. So let us not fear the heretics at our door. Even with their iron steeds standing before us, stinking
wow.
of machine oil and shining its heretical light upon us.
Remember, most of the country has been destroyed or occupied. Even those who speak our language might be enemies, by conviction or out of fear.
We will not falter. Let us steel ourselves against them. For this
A lot more
is
action on the
our
surface in
hour
this
of
one.
glory. Amen.
So, basically, Metro is a better Fallout than Fallout. I mean, sure, it's only a
Yeah.
shooter, but Fallout is basically a terrible shooter with a terrible story. So if you're gonna go
Yeah.
all in on the shooting, why not make the shooting really good? Look at these
Fallout has
environments.
since become a shooter.
Yeah, and not as good a shooter as Metro. Oh, love it.
They want blood, they will get it.
Even has
We'll cross
ghouls.
it no matter what those fanatics think.
And sharks?
It's funny, you're about 10 seconds ahead of me on the stream, so then you mentioned sharks, and I'm like, I can't wait to see this shark.
And if the heretics come for our lives, we will stand firm. So you got me, you damned heretics. Artyom, jump!
You're still playing as Artyom?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I'm fully on board. That's February too. Everything's February of next year.
Oh god, you're right. And then
Anthem was too.
Exclusive.
I understand this game is really popular for streaming. It just fits with the streaming culture really well. But I haven't watched it. I should. I should see what this game's all about.
You needn't cower in the doorway.
I heard it was light on
Actually
content,
like
but that's
meeting
pretty
new
much all
people.
I heard about it.
Besides, the conversation with my friend here has reached a bit of an impasse. I think he just needs a moment to cool off. Now, I sense that you brought me something to inspect. Show me.
Oh.
The waves of change roll throughout the seas.
The Dark Lord
and a new
Sauron?
land is revealed. The forsaken shores. A place of darkness, where fire and ash consume all. And from the depths, skeleton crews will rise to curse the seas. An ancient evil set loose upon the Sea of Thieves. You have delivered unto me a portent of doom most terrible.
Oh!
You just wanted to know how much it was worth, didn't you? Fine, I'll give you 10 for it.
That's cute.
Yeah, I appreciated that. Oh, dice. Oh, it's gonna be this game.
Jeg har altid syntes, at landet deres var vakkert og forstyrrende. Da jeg kom hit som barn, fortalte de mig historier om skapninger og monstre. Vi ved, at nogen er derude. Bare fortæl mig, hvem det er.
So, Battlefield 5 is obviously the sequel to Battlefield 1 somehow. Like, Battlefield Roman numeral 5 is the sequel
Exclusive.
to
World premiere.
Battlefield Decimal 1. Just to make it as wrong as possible.
At least they didn't just call it Battlefield, nothing after it.
That'll be next. And then Battlefield 2019.
Yep. And then Battlefield Revelations.
So I tried to play Forza recently. I thought, oh, that looks so great. This was last year. Tried to play it. And the Microsoft Windows 10 store was so terrible it could not sell me the game. Like,
ooh, yeah, I remember that.
Like, and this looks like it'd be fun.
It does. There's sort of that car commercial appeal of, like, go all sorts of exotic places.
Right.
It would do it fast, basically.
I mean, if this is open world, if these are just closed tracks, then that's not as exciting. But it looks as if it looks like an open world, and I'm like, yeah, I'd love that. I haven't had an open world driving game since Fuel. Shovel Fu, I don't know if Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be at this show. I'm curious about that too.
Wait, why is there a hovercraft? That would not be a fair race.
Please welcome
From Playground Games, Ralph Fulton.
Oh, come on, put on a button-up shirt, dude.
Thank you so much. It is fantastic to be here today. I am excited
Is that actually a golf shirt?
to show you the world premiere of Forza Horizon 4, set in beautiful, historic Britain. Forza Horizon 4 features dynamic seasons in a shared open world, and seasons change everything.
How does that work?
Let me introduce you to some of our team who will be helping demo the game today. Please welcome Bill, who is online with a few friends in the beautiful English countryside. He has chosen the incredible new McLaren Senna. And say hi to Solomon, who is hanging out with his buddies on the streets of Scotland's capital, Edinburgh. So Solomon is driving the Hoonigan Ford Focus. And please welcome Andy, whose off-road buggy is perfect for taking jumps, scaling rocky terrain, and having fun on the coastline of Britain. But first, let's join Rebecca. She is enjoying the summer in her highly customized Nissan Silvia. The sun is out, the sky is blue, and it's the perfect day for a drive. Forza Horizon 4's Britain is a shared open world. When you play,
Oh my God.
with the entire community.
The worst.
And that means
A
the other
shared
drivers you'll meet in the game will
open
be
world.
real people with all the variety, spontaneity,
Please.
and fun that real people
Tell me
bring.
that doesn't have collision with other players.
join
Please
Bill.
tell me that.
He's in the
Colliding
same
with
shared
walls, I
world as
wonder
Rebecca,
about that.
Driving at speeds made even more thrilling on Xbox One X by the brand new
I bet they're never going to
60
touch. We'll never
FPS
know.
mode.
Yeah, I'll bet you they won't. It would be
Meanwhile,
really hard to
Andy
do
is
collision
bouncing around
in a
the
laggy
dunes
environment
nearby.
and not have
As
it be
you can
confusing
see,
and horrible.
Horizon 4 is still
Yeah.
full of action-packed fun.
I mean, just even
And now
20
we're gonna show you how
milliseconds is enough to
seasons
just make things
change
really confusing.
everything.
Yeah, like either you drop completely out
In
of sync
Horizon
or you
4,
have like
every season
collisions just
changes
drifting
the
behind
world
the car.
Right,
around you,
running
with
into a
each
car
bringing its
that
own
you
unique
think you're 2
beauty
feet apart,
and
and a
unique
game knocks
gameplay.
you around and you're like, what?
One of the great
Yeah.
things about this shared world is that it's easy to interact with the people you meet.
You need like
Here,
vicious
Solomon and
interpolation
Rebecca
or,
use the new
or
quick
basically
chat feature on the
work.
D-pad to start a new friendship. It looks like Rebecca has found some like-minded friends.
They always picture this is how online
It's
works,
great to play
but we
solo,
all know
but
how it
it's
really
better to
works.
play with
Is
others.
people
Horizon
pulling in
4
front of you,
lets you
driving through you,
seamlessly
and calling you a
enter co-op from
fag
within
with
the
2
game world.
A's so it gets through the chat filter.
Yeah, or right, exactly.
Seasons, time of day, and weather
Or
conditions
you're like, hey,
are
want to
dynamic,
drift, and they completely
but
ignore
they're
you because they're eating a
synchronized
sandwich.
for every
Right.
player, so the
Or they
entire
speak a different
community
language.
will experience them at the
Right,
same
right,
time.
exactly.
Now, as much as we'd all love to sit and watch the sun go down together, let's see how this scene looks in winter.
Just like in
The
real
entire
life.
open world changes beyond recognition. In winter, the lake has frozen solid, and previously inaccessible areas can be reached.
Oh yeah, and
Trees
all
have
of
entirely
this,
lost their leaves,
all
and
of the
snow
names,
and
like these are
ice
cool
cover the terrain.
names.
The visuals
But these
and the
names will
driving
all be
experience
taken
couldn't
by the time you
be
log
more
in,
different.
and you'll be
Now a blimp has
you'll
appeared
be
over the
driving
edge,
with
Especially,
the start
like-
of a new world event.
yeah, Terrence,
Solomon.
Forza Online
Rebecca.
invites the
Those
entire
names are
community
gone.
to come together and cooperate to win big rewards. And while they head off to the event, I'd like to show you how the world of Forza Horizon 4 looks in spring. Once again, the world changes completely with the seasons, bringing new driving experiences, new gameplay, and new events across the whole world. Every season, there are new reasons to play Forza Horizon 4, and the huge, creative, fun-loving Horizon community will be there to enjoy them with you.
Okay, so everybody just totaled their cars.
Today, you've seen a completely new take on Horizon. In Forza Horizon 4, you will live, in a vast, beautiful world.
And
in which
my stream
dynamic
quality is
seasons
just turned to
change
mud.
Everything. Forza Horizon 4 is coming to Xbox One and Windows
seem to
10
be ahead of
on October
everybody.
2nd, and I am thrilled to announce that it will be included in Xbox Game Pass on the same day. Thank you so much.
Like, I'm not against the idea of the game, but I'm irritated when they always portray this imaginary version of multiplayer that can never exist.
Yeah, as if everybody is your co-op buddy.
Right.
Who's also probably more polite than your real co-op buddy.
Everybody is on the dev team with you. At least that's what our developers have found.
Right.
My team and I take
We've actually
our
had
commitment to
internal
you
tests on the game I'm
seriously.
working on, and let me tell you, the dev
Make
team is not
Xbox
even that
One
good in real
the
life.
best place for you to play.
Truth is the enemy of happiness. Isn't that the decision we all made?
Oh, but you know the truth, don't you? There's not a thing I can tell you that you don't already know, is there?
Have you had your joy, Ollie?
People in town are getting a tad bit skinny. I think they're starving to death, and they're painting the streets in rainbows. Have you not noticed?
Oh, Ollie.
Why are you all wearing those ridiculous new masks?
You should get one. They shape your face into a smile, and when you smile, you can't help being happy.
We have to tell people. They need to know the truth.
No! It's better not to know.
Wiki, everybody. And it's another...
This is such a fantastic high concept, stylistic thing, and I hate the gameplay of this game. It is so boring to me. But
I really thought this was going to be like Bioshock.
Right.
It's not a lovely day for it. It's a terrible day for it.
If you force people to have the emotions you want, then you've turned them into robots made out of meat.
Where is it? Where's the blackberry? You've gone too far this time.
People won't face facts. Not until we take their joy.
Like, I'm usually not one to advocate linear story-based,
each other in the
but this is a game that needs that.
Yeah, that's the format you'd want to tell this story. Or
Right.
at least something close to it. You'd want to put the story first.
Right. And instead it's an open world
Exclusive.
crafter, and that's weird.
A1 Pictures.
Wow. I mean, this looks like 80s anime. This isn't made of polygons. It looks like hand animated. Oh, but it is made of polygons there.
They do a bit of both, I think.
Still, that's pretty
Yeah, it reminds
crazy
me
in
of
this day and age.
like a bit of Fullmetal Alchemist and a bit of like early Gainax anime, like FLCL and
Yeah. Even the outfits and the particular style of these animations is very much a throwback to like 20 years ago.
Yeah, like right before the, well, I won't say right before the digital switch, but like
Right.
around that time.
Yeah.
Everything is simplified colors. When digital anime stopped looking bad, basically.
Yeah. Even that glowing fade-in title is very much an anime thing more than a video game thing, the way it fades in. And that soundtrack.
World premiere.
Washington, D.C., the most heavily protected city on Earth.
Within its limits, 177 foreign embassies, 550 elected officials, and 23,000 military personnel.
Are you just reading the Wikipedia page to us?
In the event of an attack, critical personnel are evacuated, underground shelters open, while complex defense systems patrol the sky.
But nothing stopped the virus. 27 days after patient zero, Washington
Oh, here's
fell.
that innovative
It began
storytelling they
with
were
riots
telling
on
us
K
about. The
Street,
groundbreaking,
shootings in the National
bold
Troops withdrew to
storytelling.
bunkers. Civilians were left in the streets.
America is on the brink of collapse, but some people have survived. Gardens grow on rooftops, their fences patrolled with rifles, in communities that live under constant siege. Survival has taken the form of urban warfare.
Centuries ago, on this very soil, brother fought brother, spilling blood to forge the United States. History is threatening to repeat itself.
Now, in the heat of summer,
Resident Evil
6
28
months
days later.
after the outbreak began, a remnant of a corrupt state lurks in the shadows, ready to engage.
Iron Cast Knight, Division 2, Divide
Agents
Harder.
of the Division are the only ones standing against
Well played, Iron Cast
But how do you save a nation when its enemies come from
Division
within?
2, Subdivision.
Division 4, Quad Tree. Ubisoft.
Oh, this is going to be the Avatar thing, isn't it?
So do you get to see stuff like this at work?
Is just ahead.
I do, sort of. We have a newsletter, basically.
That's so cool.
Duke,
But
can
that means
you
your
guys hear that?
company is
Yeah.
just this
Closer to the
continuous leak risk. Like anybody can talk.
That's true. Well, we do have like internal like levels of disclosure.
Right,
So there's
like-
there's stuff that I don't know. Like
It's like a
my
cult.
project will
There's
be on
levels of
E3.
clearance leading to
Right.
the center.
Look at this parachute.
Right, exactly.
Dropped right through the ceiling.
Okay, this is a bone to pick I have with Ubisoft. You guys keep doing, not you, Ross. I'm using the sort of open you. They keep,
I might anyway, but
So you guys are coming or what?
this staged dialogue drives me crazy in
oh
demos.
god, no, that's been my gripe with every single one of these.
Nobody talks like this.
Ah, here's the door.
It's like this weird middle ground between the like stage dialogue and also role playing the video game, which nobody
Right.
does.
Even role players aren't this good at role playing. All right, look, here's some survivors. I'm going to talk to. Hang on, guys. My dog needs out. I'll be right back.
Okay, meet us at the
Right, exactly.
Okay, sure.
And somebody else is like, "Could you guys hear me? Is my volume level okay?"
Wow. Okay. Definitely from the capital. You should have a new side mission on the map.
Yeah, we're not that far.
Okay, do it after the crash site? Sounds good. They're just ahead of us, Matt.
Been
Hey, I
busy.
see you. I'll be up in a sec. Kit, we gotta get you leveled up.
I know, please help. I've been busy.
Toxic chemical residue detected. A lot of loot down there.
Hey, you guys should really check this out.
Almost there.
Oh, this is so fake. It hurts.
So that's the control point.
they had like a sound drop there.
Oh yeah, and Merja points out they really need somebody with just a thick accent that you can't understand a word they're saying. Somebody else that's overboosted. Somebody else that only types and doesn't have a microphone. Somebody that never ever
Matt,
talks.
can you flank them and get a clear shot?
I'll take that sniper on top. Wait for it.
And everybody just runs in and starts shooting like crazy and has absolutely no teamwork.
Matt, look out.
He was
Matt,
in that.
Alright, let me try to
Matt,
get that
look
tank
out.
off
Like,
you.
who would say that? Like,
More bad guys on the other side of the plane.
Grenade, grenade!
Dude, come on.
Yep.
Matt, I need your help. Over here.
Yeah, Matt. What is Matt's problem in this demo?
Wait.
Seeker mine out.
Wait, what?
Whoa. Oh, I'm stuck.
I'm stuck. I honestly thought that's the most realistic thing, that she was stuck in the terrain.
Oops, I've fallen through the ground.
Oh, there's a dude rushing through the plane.
You try to run away, I'll respawn.
Guys.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do. Got him. I'm down.
Yeah, hang on, I'll get you. I'll cover you guys.
Come on.
And there'd be one guy creeping on the girl on the team.
Get that weak point.
Oh crap. Matt, watch out. Setting my drone.
Tradoc, yeah. When you play on your own, you snipe from a distance and you're super careful. And when you're on a team, if you do that, your teammates will just go in and get all the murders and you'll stand there doing nothing. So it sort of encourages the most aggressive form of play. So everybody goes just balls out, shotguns.
You're on your own.
Face first.
Good job.
Especially if the loot is like not distributed.
Oh, sweet. Congrats.
Alright, flare is up. Control point is ours. Nice. Guys wanna check out the plane? Let's go.
I don't know, I found it weird that the tank's armor just comes off bit by bit. Like it's just blown away.
Like a rough landing.
Whoa, that's nuts.
Let's check it out.
Great idea. Let's just die.
People aren't hopping enough.
So,
Actually, I don't know if you can hop in this game.
Take the capital back.
I don't think you can jump.
3, 2, 1,
go, 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 go,
I think jumping has been denied us in many games now.
Oh, it's so terrible. And 3, 2, 1, go, 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 go. And then everybody goes over the space of 5 seconds. Because of lag.
Because frame rate. Connection speed.
Please welcome the head of engineering, Xbox Game Pass, Ashley Spiker.
This is a special time for gamers. We've never had so many incredible games to play. Storied franchises, uncharted worlds, new releases, and cult classics. Genres we love, and genres we'd love to explore. There's only one problem. Too often we are forced to choose one amazing game over another.
You mean exclusives
So we
that you
set
had
out
us
to solve
clapping
that
about a minute ago?
And to answer the question, what if you didn't have to choose? What if you could play them all?
What if you could just
The
go to
answer?
Pirate Bay?
Xbox Game Pass. A way to give gamers the
I'm not
ultimate
advocating
freedom
Pirate
to
Bay,
play.
by the way.
And
I
your
pay for all my
response
games.
has blown us away. Not only are you playing more games, you are spending more time gaming.
EA did this
Freedom of
yesterday
choice is
too.
leading to
Everybody
more
wants that
discovery,
monthly
more
fee.
play and more fun.
Over
And
100
we couldn't
games,
be
same
more
same
inspired
exact
to keep
pitch.
building
Yeah,
and
the same
unlocking
pitch.
more for you.
Over 100.
So for the
I
last
don't
year,
like- I
we've been
do not
working on
like.
how to give you faster access to all those games. We leveraged the machine learning expertise we have
Like
at Microsoft.
I would rather the
and
games be,
invented a
if
way
you're gonna have
to
games as service.
start your games
I'd rather the games be the
twice as
service and not the service to get me
And
the games
naturally,
be
Yeah.
the service. Because the moment it goes down, all of my games are
Unlike
gone
the
forever.
current
In way beyond
Ready-to-Start
Steam.
system, which is
They
manually
don't exist.
configured, Fast Start uses machine learning techniques based on how gamers actually play games.
Oh, I
And
hate this.
Fast Start is designed to get better as the algorithms and parameters are refined over time.
I do not trust Microsoft to
I'm
build
pleased to
this.
announce that
Oh
Fast
my
Start
goodness.
will
Can you
launch
imagine by the
select
people who
Not
brought
everything's
you
Windows
Windows?
Live, not after.
Yeah.
Yeah, Windows Store.
Yeah, Windows Store plus Windows Update plus games for Windows Live. This is what she's promising. It's basically
Yeah,
the
plus
concentration
Skype.
camp of gaming.
It all comes down to the games. We'll continue to deliver
So is it
iconic
$5 a
favorites
month?
like
'Cause that's
Halo,
what
the
EA is
Master Chief
asking.
Collection, coming later this year. We also plan to release all new exclusive games from Microsoft Studios, including Forza Horizon 4, Crackdown 3, and more, into the Xbox Game Pass catalog on the same day as their global release. Every month, we'll also bring new games from leading creative studios into your Xbox Game Pass library. Games like Ashen, Warhammer Vermintide 2.
Oh, I'm so
After
sorry,
Party,
my
and
connection
Phoenix
keeps
Point,
getting wonky. I'm
all
not sure
available in
what's going on
Xbox
there.
Game Pass the same day as their global release.
Every once in a while, the stream turns to mush.
So that's what's next. But let's talk about what's happening
The green.
today.
It's so green.
That is really a lot of green.
Tom Clancy's The Division.
Is The Division an Ubisoft game?
The
It
Elder
is.
Scrolls Online Tamriel
I know because there's actually a
Unlimited.
guy I work with who's from the Division. The Division.
Right, not
And
The Division within The
Fallout
Division.
4.
Yeah.
All enhanced for Xbox One X in gorgeous 4K. And
Oh
all
my
of
goodness,
those
chat,
playable
you people are
today
savaging
in
this
Xbox
lady.
Game
You are
Pass.
doing a much better job than I am. So they have the same number of games that aren't... Their library is... Their total games library is smaller than the number of games on Steam that are open world zombie survival.
Around the world with Xbox Game Pass. Thanks, everyone.
Oh no, more of this.
I thought I knew why I came here.
Oh,
What are they
here we
even
go.
doing with the story of Tomb
I
Raider?
saw it.
I know.
The end. It was so vivid. But now the truth feels further away than
Wait,
ever.
can...
I still have so many questions.
Is this another one?
Yeah.
It feels like
Bang.
Rise just came out.
We can't let Trinity get hold of this.
Let's think this through.
Do you realize the tragedy you have unleashed? The cleansing has begun. It falls to me now to stop it before it consumes us all.
What have I done? I know that it's not practical.
Oh, that was a nod to Rambo. That's a deep cut from the
That it's
80s.
hard to believe.
Opening her eyes when covered in mud.
Yeah.
Upright.
Did Predator do that too?
I don't remember now. Oh, I fail at 80s.
You need to trust me.
I know there was a point where he had to cover himself in mud so he wouldn't be picked up with thermal.
Right.
I skipped a Tomb Raider in the whatever installments they have now, and I'm like, wait a minute, there's nothing changed?
Right, I really liked the reboot, and then Rise just felt like it went nowhere. I was really just...
Right, exactly.
He
Yeah.
wants to alter the course of humanity. If you had that power,
I think they're
Same,
trying
I
to...
liked the first reboot they did.
I think they're trying to make it too epic. She has to be saving the world, and it's like, I could do with just an adventure in some tombs. I don't need the save the world from the doomsday curse
Yeah,
thing.
just make it like an interesting tomb with its own story to tell, and then maybe put some of the people there to like complicate your tomb rating.
Yeah. Yay.
Exclusive.
That sounds like Stephen Blum.
They say you only live once. I beg to differ. I was born 3 times.
Dragon's
and I've met
Dogma?
death 3
Maybe?
times. My first home was
Pearl
Antinomian.
Abyss is the people who publish Black Desert
Curiosity I gave
Online.
there cost me my first
They're,
life.
they're a Korean MMO company.
I awoke again in Tarif, village of the sorcerers. I once thought that this would be my true home. Everything changed when I started to ask the forbidden questions. What exactly is the true nature of the Blackstone? What lies beneath the vast desert?
Oh, is this just more content for Black Desert Online?
Calling me from the depths beyond the desert.
Oh man, what a shame.
Right.
The world never
I mean,
gave
this
me
looks like
to
something
such
I want to play, but having played Black Desert
Yeah.
Online, I know it isn't. Yep, it's Black Desert. It's got antler head guys.
Every
It is time that
every Korean game, well, every Korean MMO has the same issue of it looks amazing, it's got trailer material like crazy, and then shame above that gameplay.
Yeah, I actually really like the moment to moment. The combat in this game feels every bit as good as a lot of single player games. It's not just good for an MMO; it's just good. But the long term gameplay is
So it's like
awful.
Terra then?
It's better than Terra. Better than Terra, yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
The darkness born from the desert.
But the whole thing leads up to involuntary PvP when you hit level 50, and I am not into that.
Well, so it's like Ion in that sense. Man, Ion was so bad for that.
In
I
engine,
played a lot of Korean MMOs. It's always the same thing.
We've known each other a long time.
Is this one of the brave, innovative, groundbreaking stories they were talking about?
You never had this much trouble. You gonna make it through this?
Oh. It's gonna be another installment of Devil May Cry, not actually that Devil May Cry-ish.
This game is super ridiculous. I mean, deliberately so. I'm not like, oh, they don't realize how dumb it is. It's like, this is an aesthetic choice to be completely ridiculous. And his driver reminds me of Bayonetta. And I wonder how deliberate that is.
Cheer up, crew cut. You taking notes?
I think with the neon, it might be the same guy.
Yeah, he's a real pro at smacking demons around. That's why I built him that well-functioning arm. To kick demon ass.
Exclusive.
Alright, I think I'm back now. I'm not sure what that was all about, but I lagged
I'm still
out.
here.
The Cuphead games.
Or Cuphead.
Like, I get why everybody loves this thing, but oh, it's a platform bullet hell, and that is just not for me. But I love the look of it. I mean, I love everything about its look.
I was really impressed they managed to make it look so much like an old cartoon.
Exclusive.
Light effects, so cool. Man, it would be fun to make this in 3D. Like, if you look at modern games, you know, like any of the ones we previously saw,
Yeah.
those assets aren't fun to make. They're a lot of work.
Right.
Making these would actually be pretty breezy.
You're talking about modeling? in terms of modeling?
Yeah.
What do you
as
use?
a 3D modeler making this game? Oh, 3D Studio Max, Photoshop, and the occasional like side tool like Crazy Bump, or like if I did 3D like normal mapping stuff, I'd probably use Mudbox or something.
Oh, on the podcast last night we were talking about Blender and what a nightmare it is, but how it's really cool that it's just this free, you know.
I was 3D Studio Max user. Blender was always like, oh man.
Well, Blender has the advantage of being free, even though the UI is terrible.
Example of the reach of gaming today.
Where the impossible is reality.
The world has changed. The change is worlding. It's not the same as it was.
These worlds.
We have to come together to fight the new threat that will cover the world in darkness.
Changed. Now they have begun to merge as one. And our last hope.
And already $1 million.
Uniting to fight for
no, $2 million. We have 3 popular shonen series in one.
I actually don't like the mixture of these cartoony characters with this environment. It doesn't work for me.
This realistic world, yeah.
It doesn't work for me at
I don't get
all.
it, because all 3 of these characters are from series with a more stylized world than the one they're in.
Right, and it makes the world look awful. Like, it really hurts the preset. And this is the hard way to do it. It would be easier to make the background stylistic, like you were saying earlier.
Yeah. It takes an oh my god, really? Death Note on top of that? Why? Have they never watched Death Note? Is he just gonna write Naruto in the book, and then Naruto's like, oh, I win.
Unite to fight.
World premiere.
Super Smash Weebs. Oh, you are savage, Craddock.
That is exactly it. That reminds me of Sonic 06, where the world was clearly made for a different game, and it was all photorealistic, and then you had Sonic standing in it, and it looked so bad.
With that, like, lifelike girl.
Fighting for
yeah, right next to him.
piece of land, to preserve ourselves from the terrors of the night.
With her, like, realistic body proportions and, like,
So-
hair shader and
so
high detail texture.
his
And Sonic is just...
He's half her height, and his eye is the size of her head, and it's just crazy.
Right. And his eye is just made of white, and his fur is made of blue, and she's got, like, a super detailed normal map texture.
It's like nightmare fuel. What are we watching here? Oh, this is that zombie game with the platforming.
Oh, yeah.
Is it? All these mud-brown, dystopic, post-apocalyptic games.
Will create the world to come.
Dying Light.
Yep.
I don't know anything about Dying Light.
You know the drill. Get to the nearest safe house and wait until dawn. Good night. And good luck.
Is that one of the innovative games they were talking about?
Please welcome narrative designer Chris Avellone.
Definitely.
Narrative.
It's got Chris Avellone on it.
Well, you can't dunk on Chris Avellone for narrative.
PKs have a rigid approach to law and order. So while the streets may be safer, it's only safer for those who side with them. So if you get on their bad side...
Wow, I remember this innovative story when Last of Us
Now let's return
did
to
it.
that moment of choice. And instead of killing them, you choose to team up with this group to supply water on the black market. As you will see, this creates a very different set of consequences for the city. With water being a precious currency, it brings you access to new resources and trade. But this, in turn, attracts the area.
Yeah.
And this is just a single decision, one out of hundreds you will have to make. But it allows you to carve out your own world. Each player's game experience will be unique. And by the way, this is just what happens in the day. At night, well, things tend to get a lot darker.
Wasn't it kind of a waste of a Chris Avalon?
That really was.
It sort of explained that it'll have systemic systems. It's like, okay.
Yeah, and it feels like this kind of story is beneath him.
You've gotten soft.
Yeah.
Complacent.
I don't think he would choose to write this of his own volition.
Right.
I always knew this day would come.
This guy's posture is like he always looks so uncomfortable.
In the entire history of E3,
yeah, he's like always fidgeting, sort of.
In the entire history of our industry, gaming is now at its most vibrant. Today, we shared our commitment to giving you the freedom to discover and play all of the great new games coming to Xbox Game Pass. Today, we showcased more games than we ever have
Some of
before.
them were only on screen for
50 games.
10 seconds, if
18
that.
titles with
Some of them were on
exclusivity,
screen for
and
2
15
seconds,
world
2.5,
premieres.
yeah.
Today, we shared our most diverse gaming portfolio in every measure, from breadth in art style, genre, and cultures, range in subject and setting, scale and story, and scope and creative vision. And every one of these plays best on Xbox. The world of gaming is on an historic
beg to differ.
where the increasing number of gamers
It's more like the increasing
met with
scale
the
of games
increasing creative power
decreases the
of
creative
developers.
power of
In
game
this significant moment, we are
Game creators.
constantly challenging ourselves. Where can we take gaming next? Our answer? We commit and harness the full breadth of our resources at Microsoft to deliver on the future of play. Our experts in Microsoft Research are developing the future of gaming AI, so the worlds and characters we enjoy will be even more rich and more immersive. Our cloud engineers are building a game streaming network to unlock console-quality gaming on any device.
Controls on phones, finally.
Not only that,
Why are you
we
people
There's no way you're
clapping
playing
for a
any console
Microsoft cloud gaming solution? You should be
everywhere
afraid.
Oh.
on your Xbox, your PC, or your phone.
I don't think anything is
And
more
of
scary
course,
than that.
Our hardware team, the same team that delivered unprecedented performance with Xbox One X, is deep into architecting the
Isn't
next
Xbox One
console,
X the runt of the
where
litter?
we will
I thought the new
once again
PS4
deliver
was
on
top
our
dog.
commitment to set the benchmark
PS4
for
is killing
console
it.
gaming. And let's talk about our games
I
themselves.
think the
We
the
are
Switch has
committed
got the biggest
to
growth, but
building
just
an
because all the games that came
industry-leading
out for it recently.
first-party
Yeah, 'cause
studios
Nintendo.
organization. And as you saw earlier, we are making one of our greatest single-year investments in teams by adding 5 new creative studios.
After like Games for
We have
Windows
committed
Live,
our team,
Windows Store,
our company,
Skype, like
technical resources,
anytime Microsoft
so
is like,
we
we're
can
gonna
declare
update
to
this,
you
take over
today
this, or build new
and
technology,
next year,
I'm like, oh no, please, anyone
all of
else.
the years after
Anyone
that,
else.
you will always experience the best.
I don't know
in
what's
gaming
so like deeply
on
wrong
Xbox.
with their like studio developers, but
Yeah.
it's so bad.
Elsewhere, they've got good engineers, but everything to do with their online offerings is just
There are worlds to be saved,
Kafka-esque for the
heroes
end
to be
user.
made, and
Yeah,
legends to
like
become.
they made Visual Studio.
Together.
Visual Studio is amazing.
Oh
Thanks.
yeah, that's solid
Have a
gold.
great
Oh, this isn't my stream going down for once. This person is a terrible typist.
They made just on a DOS screen.
I'm just gonna let the... Okay. What? Oh, please be Cyberpunk, somebody said.
2077 voted my city the worst place to live in America. Main issues, sky-high rate of violence, and more people living below the poverty line than anywhere else.
Yes!
Can't deny it, it's all true. But everybody still wants to live here. This city's always got a promise for you. Might be a lie, an illusion. But it's there, just around the corner. And it keeps you going. It's a city of dreams. And I'm a big dreamer.
That is exactly what I wanted to see.
Yeah. It's like, I was trying to think of something to say, and I was like, no, that about sums it up.
I mean, there was no gameplay there, so we shouldn't be too taken in. But yeah.
I was kind of happy to see that their cinematics were still clearly like Witcher 3 engine stuff, rather than it being,
yeah,
well, you know, gussied up.
Yeah, man, no, don't go crazy. Just make the game good. Yeah, you know what? I wasn't crazy about the main character either. I was more taken with the environment. I had enough of dislikable, like I wasn't even that crazy about Geralt, and I wouldn't mind having a likable protagonist or somebody that was understated instead of a snot. I guess I wasn't thinking about him as necessarily the protagonist. I thought, oh, maybe he's just the guy describing the world to us in the trailer. And it could be another
character. I thought you could make your own protagonist in those
games. I guess that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, because I had the same thing. I sort of checked out and was like, hang on. Oh, that's the schedule. I sort of checked out and figured he wouldn't be the main character, but you're right, if he's the leading dude.
If he is the new Geralt. Yeah, if he's the new Geralt, then, and we're just stuck with that guy in that jacket with that voice saying that stuff, then who am I kidding? I'm gonna play it, but I'll complain about him the whole time.
Yeah, well, the other thing was that basically sold me on, like, the Deus Ex new stuff. The same sort of theme, better than Deus Ex did.
That's true. Deus Ex has such...
it looks the same scale.
Right. That game, the technology looks disturbing and dangerous and seedy, and Deus Ex, the technology, they're like, oh, it's oppression, and oh, it's this terrible thing, but it looks so cool, and it looks like it'd be wonderful to have, and it makes you, it's never ugly.
Yeah, like it has no problems, and it's...
Yeah. It makes you good looking.
Yeah, it makes you good looking, it's always like, aesthetic. If you take it off, it's just like a smooth port there.
Well, we got to see it. We've been waiting for like 2.5 years to see that trailer, I think.
Yeah. They particularly sold me on the guy getting shot in the face and it just bouncing off the metal under his skin.
Can you believe the luck of the shooter? He's like, damn it, I keep hitting these stupid little plates. Oh, yeah.
That was the thing they did in Ghost in the Shell, and it was really cool.
I want the job of the person who makes the Minecraft map. That's my job. I made this map. I mean, this is just... I play Minecraft on the weekends when I take a break from writing, and I built this. I didn't build this for the demo. I just built this because I wanted to build it, and then I was like, I need something to show on screen when the show is over, but we're still talking, and I'm like, well, I'll just run around my Minecraft world and try to make that look interesting.
It's interesting because I actually played Minecraft only when it was like it first came out, when it was first getting its like popularity. I don't know if this is true for anybody else, but I sort of didn't get hooked on Minecraft because I was like working in Hammer at the same time, and I was always like, I have to go through all these extra steps to build things in Minecraft, but I could just like drag a box out in Hammer.
I can't believe you're comparing anything to Hammer and saying that anything else is harder. I've used Hammer. That's a self-abuse tool. I can't believe...
Fair, I did end up having to write my own script.
I can't believe Valve made their games with that tool. Like, only people who have tried Hammer will ever understand what heroes there are at Valve. I mean, if you use the Unreal Engine, the Unreal Ed, and then try Hammer, you will have new respect for anybody.
It's like night and day.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, here's actually the perfect anecdote. So the reason I even got into scripting for video games, and the reason I got hired for Unrest originally, was because... So Arvin knew who I was because he worked on Dystopia, and I was from the Firearms Source team. And I sent in a thing saying, I know how to script, I've made a few mods for Tribes in the past, but like my best example of it was batch scripts I had written to make Hammer compile my models, because there was no UI. It was just write some scripts into batch and run it through the EXE.
Here's a question from the comments about Will Fight for Food. How hard is it to get the achievements for that game? I don't remember. I only played it for a few hours.
Apparently, see, people are really interested in those achievements. I've gone in a few times and made them easier. They should all be collectible. But we did a patch to make sure they're all... You can get them all, and it's not that hard and not that buggy. But there might be a few that are like a little less polished, because Will Fight for Food... was originally a different scripter's script base. I had to go in and like touch it up, and the scripting isn't quite like programming where it's like super good practice to always have everything commented. Sometimes you wind up with some very confusing nests of interacting scripts, and I cleaned most of them out, but I'd say there's a good 95% chance you'll be able to get them without issues, but if you do, just put a comment up in the forums and we'll get around to it.
Yeah, but how hard is it?
If you happen to find an edge case.
If you have to like grind for hours to get them, or play through the game 20 times?
Oh, in that sense, no. It should be quite simple. I think the hardest one would be there's an arcade machine where you do like fighting game, pick a dude and fight them, and you have to beat everybody. But
yeah,
that's really no more difficult than any other combat.
Another question, is Hammer better or worse than Bethesda's creation kit? Keeping in mind, I haven't looked at Bethesda's kit since 2006, so maybe it's improved since then, but my impression is that Bethesda's kit is the absolute bottom, the nadir of tools. Hammer's a little above that, and then you have things like Unreal Edit that are super easy. Anybody can pick. I mean, not easy. Modeling is hard. Mapping is hard. But given the complexity of the task, it's a super good tool.
Yeah. If you want a material in Unreal, you basically just grab 3 images or whatever, you drag them pretty much directly into Unreal Edit, and it is in the game. And then you just sort of link them together with a visual interface. In Hammer, you have to get the thing, make it a specific target format, put it in the directory, no, VTF, which is like, you have to convert it with a different tool in Photoshop. Then you have to write a script that defines the material properties, and also links to that image, and then you have to compile it and put it in your game. be able to see it in the editor.
Oh. I am all about, like, making artists take as few steps as possible. I was, like, mortified at what a pain in the ass Good Robot was to work on. And then you were like, no, this is pretty good.
It's certainly a step up from the XML stuff I did before. Because that was the only thing we had to do for Unrest. It was like, you had to have nodes nested in nodes with triggers and effects and things like that. Which is actually a robust system. We had no tools.
I kind of like subscribe to the John Carmack school of how, you know, make everything as easy for the artist as possible. Except, you know, I'm not John Carmack, so I'm not nearly as good as him. He's way above my level. But like Doom 3, the editor was the game. You just bring up the console and I think type ed.
Yeah.
And you're just editing the game right now as it is in front of you. And I was like, that is amazing. Compile right there in the game.
I can see why you'd like that too, because way back in the day that used to be, so like I got into modding mostly with Tribes, like Star Siege Tribes, the original, and the editor in that was just you typed edit and the editor thing came up just like that. And not only was that the case, it was so robust that you could be playing a multiplayer game and people could join your game as you were editing a map. You could literally be moving a map around as people were like fighting it out.
That is impressive. Like, that is going above and beyond for the programmer. That is a programmer who took their work seriously. I mean, I'll bet you that made things... See, the thing about that is, that's a lot of days of work for a programmer. But if you save a lot of days of work for each of your artists, then it's a net win.
And it was level design gold, because you could play it and they'd be like, oh man, the ceiling's a bit too low. And you go, oh, okay, hang on, I got this. And you'd move the ceiling up in real time.
Right. Of course,
like these stairs are, you know, are too narrow. Zoop, you know, try it again.
The problem you get with that style of development is, of course, the programmer has to do most of their work before the artists start, which and that's, of course, makes things really awkward in a AAA setting when you really need the entire team to sort of begin together. You've got to like do this staggered thing.
Yeah, and one thing I noticed for sure is that, especially if features come in late during development, there's a good chance they won't get used, because a lot of prototyping goes on early, like for designing things, and they'll be like, far in advance, we're going to make these missions. And then if, you know, halfway through development, 3/4 of the way through, a new feature comes in, we're like, oh, now we have the ability to do this type of gameplay. It's not going to be in the specs of those missions. It's only going to be the ones they add later once they've completed the others that it'll even get into the game. But yeah, and the other thing that Tribes did that was fantastic was when you made mods for Tribes, they were just a script file, and the whole game was put together through these like overarching script files. And when you joined a server, you didn't have to download the mod like you did for Half-Life or for Unreal. All you had to do was join the server, and you got the script files.
It's totally seamless. I've often wished Minecraft could operate like that, because, you know, this server is running this insane library of mods, and it would be nice if you could just sort of, when you join the server, you join its rule set.
Yeah, the server basically downloaded you the script files, which was fine then because they were just like text. The limitation was you couldn't have models. It was only text, you know, placements of props and maps and stuff. And maps themselves were scripts that just held the placement, rotation, and properties of items, and you know, and objects and blocks and whatever. But it meant that you could join any server and it would be like, oh, it's running like the Tribes football mod, okay, and you played it. Oh, that's what that mod is.
Right. Somebody said here in the comments, Unity is pretty much the epitome of zero friction asset creation. I know you and I both agree on that. We were talking about that before the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Unity...
It has been the easiest.
Yeah. Unity is zero friction once you get over the initial hurdle. The lack of documentation really hurts it. But it is, once you get over the hurdle...
video tutorials.
Oh... Make me so angry, the video tutorial. Not even properly curated, edited video, but a live stream that's been stored.
Right.
Where they're interacting.
A rambling diatribe.
Where they're interacting with chat that you can't see. the worst, the absolute worst form of tutorial. And that's what you've got to go through if you want to learn Unity. But once you go through it, it is so powerful.
It's super flexible. You can do almost anything with it.
So, somebody pointed out the Bethesda event in, I think, like 3 hours, something like that. I have to look at the schedule here. Are you going to be able to make that, Ross?
Yeah, I'll be around for that.
Awesome. I'm going to be here for that.
After, but, you know.
Right. But I will be here for that. Hopefully my internet will be more reliable. So, thanks everybody for tuning in.
Yeah, it was fun, and a lot more things were shown than EA. God damn it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy they ended with Cyberpunk, so they won me over. Alright, everybody.
It's like 4 things I'm looking forward to. I'll see you guys.
I'll see you in a few hours.